Good morning. This is your math sensei, Mr. Spensei, and this is Unit 3, Day 2, Perpendicular Line. So start off with a warm-up. It says graph the equation y equals 3 half x minus 4. Give the y-intercept and m. So first off, my slope is a positive 3 over 2, and my y-intercept is 0, negative 4, because this is in y equals mx plus b. B is negative 4. We're going to go ahead and graph that. And my slope is positive 3 over 2. Remember the angry man eyebrows? So this tells me I need a positive slope, so it needs to be going up and up and to the right. So positive 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. Put a bunch of these just so we have a more accurate graph. Hopefully it looks a little bit better, but if I'm drawing, maybe it's not. So here we go. Then the next one, find the point slope form of the equation. Okay. So that means they want this. That's parallel to y equals 3 half x minus 4. We just graphed that and passes through the point negative 6, negative 4. So let's go ahead and mark our starting point. Our starting point is negative 6, negative 4. So I'm going back 6 and down 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is my x, this is my y, and we want it in y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, if it's parallel, the slopes have to be the same. So we know that this is going to be 3 halves because the slopes are the same. We know this is x and this is y. We know the y is going to be a 4 and the x is going to be a 6. However, when we put them in an equation, because of the negative sign and change agent, these signs flip. So this becomes a positive 4 and this becomes a positive 6. Well, we already know our slope is 3 halves because it has to be the same because we want parallel lines. So I'm going to go ahead and count those out. So 1, 2, 3, and over 2. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, over 2. 1, 2, 3, and over 2. At this point, when we draw the lines, we go, you know what? We have parallel lines. Not sure exactly what happened here, but something's a little bit off on the graph. Oh, yeah, I have a point that's off. 1, 2, 3 over 2. 1, 2, 3 over 2. That messed things up. 1, 2, 3 over 2. Apologize for that error. Put the straight edge to it and saw that I'd miscounted. Happens to the best of us. Okay, there we go. You can ignore these little red pimples there. They're wrong. It says next, given the equation 2x plus 3y equals negative 18, solve for y. Okay, this is in standard form. This is in ax plus by equals c. And we can't do much with that. I mean, we can do a little bit, but it's a lot easier to go ahead and put in y equals mx plus b format. So we want it to look like y equals mx plus b. So this is 2x plus 3y equals negative 18. All right, this is a positive 2x, so to move it, I'm going to have to make a minus 2x. This goes away, becomes 0. So this is 3y equals, these do not combine, so I want it to look like y equals mx, so it's going to be negative 2x plus 18. Divide everything by 3 to get that y by itself, because the goal is to get y by itself. Now I have y equals negative 2/3 x. I don't know why I keep changing these minus signs to positives, but that's a minus 18. So this becomes a minus 6. Well, my y-intercept is negative 6, so I'll go ahead and plot that. And then I have 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, up 2 over 3, up 2 and over 3. Now, obviously, these lines are not parallel because they're crossing. Okay? They're not parallel because they're crossing. And one thing I noticed is, hey, this makes a 90-degree angle. So I have a perfect 90-degree angle. If I have a perfect 90-degree angle, I have what is known as perpendicular lines. So these lines are perpendicular and they make right angles with each other. So what do we notice? What do we notice about our slopes? Because the big difference is in the slope. So these two had a slope of 3/2. 3/2. This one has the same numbers, but they're switched and the sign has changed. Because this was a positive 3/2. This was a positive 3/2, but this is a negative 2/3. So how are they different? The slopes are flipped and the sign is changed to give a perpendicular line. All right. The slopes are flipped because we went from 3/2 to negative 2/3. The sign was changed because we went from positive to negative, and it gave a perpendicular line. Okay? So, perpendicular line, lines that have a slope which are negative reciprocals. Reciprocal just mean flip of each other's, and two lines that intersect at a right angle or 90 degrees. And you need to know that they intersect at a right angle. The intersect means cross at a right angle or 90 degrees. Next, it says find the linear equation perpendicular to y equals 5/3 x minus 4, which passes through -5, -2. Now, what it doesn't say there is it wants it in point slope form. So this should be in y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, if it's perpendicular, well, actually, let's deal with our starting points. We know that this is the x, this is the y. So this is going to be y2 equals, we know this is going to be x and this is 5. But when they go into the equation, the signs change. So this is a positive and this is a positive. But now we have to deal with our slope. This slope is 5/3, but we need to flip it and change the sign. Well, this was a positive 5/3. So if I flip it, I'm going to get 3 over 5. And the last thing I need to do is change the sign. And since this is positive, this is now a negative. All right. All we did was flip it and change the sign. Okay, continuing on. All right, we have a typo that wasn't fixed. It says find the point slope form of the equation parallel. No, we're not dealing with parallel today. We want to deal with perpendicular. Perpendicular. All right, to y equals -7/3 x plus 5. It says graph both equations. So let's go ahead and graph this first one. Starting off at +5, because that's our y-intercept. And it's negative. Don't forget the angry slope man, eyebrows. Going down. So we're going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over 1, 2, 3. And those are far enough apart, and we don't have a larger graph. So that is the 2 points that we're graphing. And then it says find the point slope form. So they want it in this using that formula. So we're going to go y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, they've already given us the starting point, so let's go ahead and graph that. Positive 7, negative 2. That's right there. All right. Now, we know that this is my x, this is my y, so we have y and 2 equals x and 7. With the sign switch, so this negative 2 becomes a positive 2, this positive 7 becomes a negative 7. Now we need to deal with the slope. This slope is a negative 7/3, and if we want a perpendicular, we have to flip it and change the sign. So the 7/3 flips and becomes 3/7, and this negative becomes a positive. So we need to count up a positive 3 and over 7. So don't forget about the angry man eyebrows, because they really will help you out on this, because we can't go up and over. So we're going to have to go down and left. So down 1, 2, 3 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3 and over 7. And there's my line. Okay. Here we go. It says find the equation of the line that's perpendicular to the line y equals negative 5x plus 7 and passes through the point 1, 6. First off, let's go ahead and label our slope. Our slope in this case is negative 5, but I need it as a fraction, so negative 5/1. And my y-intercept is 7. So I'm going to go to positive 7. That's my starting point. That's my y-intercept. And go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. And I have enough room to do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. And we now have our first equation. The next thing it says they want perpendicular. So we know we're going to have to flip the slope. And it has to pass through the point 1, 6. Well, 1, 6, might as well graph it. Positive 1, positive 6 is right there. So it has to go through that point. And it didn't say, and it says, it doesn't say point slope form. Oh, yes, it does. It says point slope form. So this is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, we know our y is 6. We know our x is 1. These are both positive, so when they go in, they become negative because this change agent of the negative changes the sign. But here we have a negative 5/1. That's my slope. So I need to flip it and change the sign. Well, this was a negative, so now I need to make it a positive. So that means I'm going to go, and remember, angry man eyebrows, we got to go up and over 5. And down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I do it right, I should get a perpendicular line, which means right here, I've created 90-degree angles. All right. So they cross at 90-degree angles if they're perpendicular. Remember, parallel, same slope, perpendicular, two lines that cross that have slopes that are switched. The slope is flipped and the sign is changed. All right, I hope this helped. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you.